start off this way. I didn't really ever plan it to get to this far. When it started, I really put myself in there, in that seat, and that seat, and that seat, and I showed up every single day. And people got to ask me, TJ, why are you putting all this effort in? And I had this question that I was trying to answer. What makes a great leader? Why are some people great leaders and others are just crap? That's what drove me in here. And after 10 years, I can say that is no longer what is keeping me here. Toastmasters and guests, my vision is simple. I want to earn a living being a coach, helping people have better communication skills. I want to become a leadership communication strategist. I want to work specifically with managers, directors, vice presidents, presidents, anybody who's designating themselves as a leader. Because I know that people really lack our communication skills. Over the course of these 10 years, I've learned a number of things that I never thought I would learn. And they've helped answer that question that I originally came in for. And some of those are, well, leadership is simply influence. It's nothing more or nothing less than that. Effective communication is really hard. In fact, that statement there alone has helped me determine what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And I have a goal to master communication. I know that I'll never be able to do it because it is so hard. Great speakers are not always the best leaders or communicators. I've seen so many people stand on a stage and they deliver a great presentation, but the moment they step off that stage and they get in front of their people to lead, it all falls apart. I've learned that so many of us lack the ability to gain trust, to influence, and inspire people. Why would I want to keep doing this if it's that hard? There's a major crisis in this world. There was 10 years ago, and there certainly is today. And that crisis is leadership abilities. So many people stand in front of others and they try to lead and they try to get things done. They don't know how to do it. And what's crazy is that those people who step into those roles don't see themselves as somebody who lacks the skills to do it. In my world in sales, it's usually the salesperson, the best salesperson, who gets the manager role. Well, that person isn't always, well, absolutely rarely the best person to lead. And they think that because they are so good at their sales job that they can go and implement all of their tactics and their ideas into the team and it'll just work, not realizing that so many people operate different ways than they do. And that leadership crisis is also why I'm still standing here today. How many of you guys here have a bad leader currently in your life? A manager, director, anybody you guys report to that's just like, oh, dang. Yeah, you got one currently? How many of you experienced that? Everybody, pretty much. Very rare. The rarest skill in the world is great leadership skills. Cassie, tell me a characteristic or two about this bad leader you currently have.
This is a person who does not listen to what I call the room, does not get a feeling for what is really going on and wanting to hear when people are having issues. They need constructive information to move forward, and simply not being able to hear the message that people are providing to them and not being able to accept it and then provide good guidance or decent guidance or seeking out ways to provide that guidance.
Yeah, and then you say some really great things here I'm actually going to touch on, but whose guidance should it be? Should it be the leader's guidance or should it be your guidance in that?
In my opinion, it has to be the person that's having the issue.
Yeah.
That's how you resolve it. That's how you attempt to resolve it.
Yeah.
You listen to what's going on and you work together, hopefully, for a path forward to resolve issues.
You're hitting on something exactly I'm dealing with currently. Not my boss, but my boss's boss, who tends to step in. He's got an MBA and he thinks he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And he always wants to give guidance, but it's only his. He never asks the questions that arise within us that then help us find our own path. And I think that is one of the greatest skills that a leader can do within a person. Because we're not here just to lead people, we're also here to grow people. Now, maybe after this, you could give me his information, you could connect us, and I could maybe coach him.
Downward power posture.
Right.
All right, so as a leadership communication strategist, this is how I could help a person like that. Communicate with clarity, create a positive environment, help his or her people be heard and seen, absolutely important, and then help people know their authentic selves. I think this is the most important one that I can see within somebody who's starting immediately when coaching. It's something that I'm working on in my own self. How do I be my authentic self as a leader and let people know that's who I am and to accept that? And it's so important for me this year that our whole family, that my family creates a vibe. And every year, and this year was authentic. And we got these bracelets that say authentic on it to remind us. And I say that is that if you want to be a leader, if you're around leaders, try to help people find who they truly are, that authentic selves. So ultimately, as a coach, as this leadership communication strategist, it comes down to 4 areas and aspects in which I want to try to work with people in my vision. Those 4 areas are to lead through influence, communicate through stories, present with clarity, and personal goal growth through vulnerability. In those 4 areas as a leadership communication strategist, I can imagine where leaders are taking these things into account with their followers to then not only develop their leadership skills, but also to bring up other leaders. Can you imagine if that was the case? Imagine. If your boss, if my boss, anybody's bosses were taking that into account, where would they be and where would they take you? My vision is simple. I want to quit my corporate life and earn a career as a leadership communication strategist. Cassie, connect me to your lead. Let's start there. Madam Toastmaster.
Shannon, would you press the button on your AC?